Block of 1st Avenue South in Grand Forks. That's just off of Demers Avenue, which is a main road through town.
They say the driver appears to have lost control on a curve before hitting the tree. 18-year-old Marley Ferguson of Grand Forks was killed. Police are trying to determine if speed was a factor in this crash. New this morning, a Wadena County man is in the hospital after crashing his motorcycle in Moorhead.
The State Patrol says the driver lost control on I-94 at Main Avenue Southeast exit last night, and he ended up in the ditch. He was not seriously hurt. Vice President Mike Pence and Democratic challenger Kamala Harris will tonight meet for their first and only debate of the campaign.
Both candidates have tested negative for the coronavirus, but as a precaution, organizers have installed plexiglass barriers on the Salt Lake City stage. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is hosting a roundtable discussion today to get a better handle on how Minnesotans can better protect themselves and their families from COVID-19.
The discussion will also include doctors and public health professionals. It's happening this morning in St. Paul. Details are expected at this afternoon's daily COVID briefing. The school year had started out pretty confusing for a lot of families because of the uncertainties involving that hybrid model of learning. Many parents in West Fargo now want to put their kids back in the classroom at school.
This is new information based on an online survey sent out to public schools parents in West Fargo. The Valley Today's Brian Sherrod joins us live this morning with a breakdown of that survey. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. Nearly 80% of these parents from West Fargo Public Schools that responded to this survey did say they want their kids back in that in-person learning in the classroom. You know, kind of similar to the back-to-school prep story that we were doing a month ago, where parents were saying the same exact thing. They want their kids back in school. This survey doesn't close until noon tomorrow, but already nearly 3,000 parents have responded. The online survey was sent last Thursday to parents of elementary-age students in the West Fargo Public School District. These students are currently in a hybrid model, attending in-person school 2 days each week. Only 17% of parents say they hope to remain in the hybrid model. 7% prefer a fully virtual option, while a huge 76% of parents who responded say they'd like their children to attend as many on-site days as possible. Now, the school board will consider a change on their next meeting for the Return to Learn plan on this upcoming Monday, which is October 12th. Also let you know that there's been 200 impacted students and staff that are off-site also because of COVID-related quarantine. So we want to continue a reminder that today at noon will be the last chance that West Fargo Public School parents can go ahead and put in for that survey.
Brian Sherrod, thank you for the update. Affects a lot of families in West Fargo.
It's now 10 minutes before the top of the hour. Let's get a check of that bus stop forecast for kids as they head off to school with meteorologist Lisa Green. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. It's looking nice and quiet for kids out at the bus stop, though they'll probably want their jackets as they're stepping out the door this morning. You can see we've got clear skies as the sun is going to be rising here a little after 7:30 this morning. So quiet. The wind is light at the moment, and temperatures, they're a little chilly in some areas. But if you're going to be hitting the road today, we're looking at some pretty good travel. There's one spot, and we'll get to that in a moment, where we're having a little bit of trouble. But other than that, mostly sunny here to start and end the day. We've got less wind as well, looking pretty good out on the roads or out at the bus stop as well. And I mentioned one spot, that's northwest Minnesota, where we've got some areas of fog. Crookston visibility has improved, but Roseau, we're still at a half-mile visibility there, and it looks like we might be having some issues in the Grafton area as well. And looking at your visibility reports around the region, things are pretty quiet at the moment. We're looking at good visibility around the area. So it's really that Roseau area where we're really struggling with that denser fog, and that's where temperatures are cooler. We're into the 30s, mid to upper 30s in Langdon, Hallock, Roseau, Foston, all at 36 degrees right now. It's 38 in Thief River Falls, 40 in Grand Forks, and 48 currently in Fargo, and a couple of 50s still in southeastern North Dakota where we're milder. The wind is light. We're looking at about 5 to 15 miles per hour out of the west or northwest. It will pick back up today, but not as strong or as intense as it has been. So here's a look at your radar and satellite map. Not much to show. We're quiet. We're clear across much of the area. There are a couple more places that are dealing with some clouds right now, but overall looking pretty quiet. Let's take a look at that bus stop planner. This morning we're starting off at 48 in Fargo with clear skies. We'll be around that range as we are stepping into school, and the school day is getting started at 8 a.m. And then this afternoon we are looking mild for this time of year, but not as warm as the last couple of days. We'll be in the upper 50s to some mid to upper 60s here this morning or this afternoon for that ride home and walk home from the bus stop. So still looking good though. Wind out of the northwest into the teens and those gusts that get a little bit higher. Your 7-day planner we're going to see temperatures on the rise. We'll be back into those 70s by Friday, and Saturday and Sunday look pretty good, but Sunday night is when we see our next chance for rain approach, and the best bet for rain will be coming up here as we head into the week next week.
Sounds great. Thank you, Lisa. An Aurora, Colorado police officer who was fired for pinning a woman's head to the floorboard of his patrol car will not get his job back. The incident happened in 2019 and was captured on the officer's body cam.
The woman was begging Officer Levi Huffin to help her after she fell face first onto the floorboard. Now, the officer's attorney says her client was not breaking protocol when he hobbled the suspect, who he says was trying to escape from the patrol car.
Former North Dakota Senator Mark Andrews has died at the age of 94. The Republican was virtually unbeatable after being appointed to the U.S. House in 1963. He served 8 more terms as a congressman and a term in the U.S. Senate before an upset defeat in 1986 by Democrat Kent Conrad.
Andrews surprised Republicans with his criticism of some of President Ronald Reagan's economic policies, once saying that, quote, "people in North Dakota didn't elect me to be a rubber stamp." Now, due to the pandemic, there will be a private family service Saturday, which will be simulcast and available for later viewing. You can find a link on the website of the Hanson-Runsvold Funeral Home. Some people in West Fargo say the city is overcharging them for water usage. Several people living in the Brooks Harbor neighborhood contacted our whistleblower hotline, saying their water bills range from $260 to more than $500 a month.
One man says he usually pays $120 a month, and there's no way he's suddenly using 26 to 76,000 gallons of water. The city of West Fargo told us fees for water went up in July to cover increased costs. The new water rates are $7.25 a month for residential customers, plus a monthly usage charge of $7 per 1,000 gallons. A new program in North Dakota is helping families impacted by the pandemic pay their electric bills. It's a one-time payment of $460. To qualify, a household must have participated in the state's regular heating assistance program through the 2019-2020 heating season. Renters who have electricity utility costs that were included in their rent do not qualify. The registration deadline is October 31st.
The Farmers to Families Food Box program is starting its distribution at various locations in North Dakota today. You can pick up a box in Grand Forks from 4 to 5:30 at the Alaris Center. People in Devil's Lake can get food next Tuesday, the 13th, from 11:30 to 1 at the Joe Roller football field. And people in Fargo can get a box next Thursday, the 15th, from 4 to 5:30 at the Fargo Dome. North Dakota's largest manufacturer is adding 100 jobs. West Fargo-based Doosan Bobcat employs more than 3,300 people in the state.
They have another 4,000 throughout North America, including at manufacturing facilities in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Bobcat manufactures a variety of construction, ag, landscaping, and grounds maintenance equipment. In our exclusive story this morning, one Fargo eye doctor bought a new piece of equipment to make eye exams easier during COVID-19. But now the instrument is being credited in helping save a Cheyenne High School senior's life. It detected a brain tumor that's likely been growing for the last 5 years.
Doctors removed as much of Avery Moxness's tumor as they could, and they sent it to Mayo Clinic for testing. The Moxness family has yet to hear back, but they do hope that Avery's story emphasizes the importance of getting yearly eye exams, even during a pandemic. For more on Avery's journey and how you can help her, just head to the VNL News app and click on this story. Fans this morning are remembering legendary rocker Eddie Van Halen, and it's no surprise that so many are calling him one of the greatest guitar players of all time. Now, he was part of one of the biggest rock bands in the late 70s and 80s.
Van Halen died yesterday at the age of 65. Local musicians have had a lasting appreciation for Van Halen's incredible talent and wildly successful career.
Eddie Van Halen was an icon. You know, there's so many amazing guitar players, but you know, you think back into the late 70s and you had, you know, kind of Jimi Hendrix was his predecessor, and then Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page and players like that. But Eddie changed the game for all of us.
That musician says Van Halen's unique style, don't forget the hair, that's what separated him truly from the rest of the crowd.
Your fall cleanup duties could go a long way in helping a local animal shelter today. From 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., bring your unwanted electronic devices to the Ramada Fargo parking lot.
TVs are not accepted, but you can bring pretty much any other device, from computers and printers to copiers, fax machines, phones, and video game consoles. Schools and businesses are welcome to bring items as well. $5 for each item collected will be donated to Homeward Animal Shelter. Students in North Dakota schools are getting free face masks to help curb the spread of COVID-19. The state is now in line to get 160,000 masks.
Large masks for adults and students, grades 7 through 12, are being distributed. Smaller masks intended for younger students will be handed out once they arrive in North Dakota.
Just 3 days after the NDSU football team played its one and only game this fall, sophomore quarterback Trey Lance declares for the 2021 NFL Draft. Now he becomes the first Bison to declare early for that draft, and it's in fact 2 years early.
NFL draft experts actually have him as a lock for a first-round pick, which will make him the third consecutive Bison quarterback drafted in the NFL and the second to go in the first round. Lance spoke to his coaches Sunday about his decision and had the opportunity to address his teammates yesterday afternoon also. He now begins the process of preparing for the NFL draft and continuing to improve his stock. The International Peace Garden raised nearly $15,000 during their virtual fundraiser. More than 100 registered voters across the U.S. and Canada took part.
The garden remains open to visitors up near Dunseith, North Dakota, but Canadian travelers are discouraged from visiting. The port is not open yet to non-essential travel, and those who return to Manitoba will have to quarantine for 14 days.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Here's today's question. 88 million Americans now own this and use it daily.
The answer is a smart speaker. I'm one of those million Americans every morning when I'm getting ready.
It took me a while. I was late on jumping on the smart speaker bandwagon, but now I'm just obsessed.
Once you have one, you can't go back from it.
You can't go back.
Yeah, maybe a good Christmas gift coming up here.
Agree.
The Today Show at CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. More live up to the minute news and weather coming up right now on the Fargo CW.